Hello, friends. Many people are sure that only humans are capable of experiencing and expressing deep feelings, while animals and birds live exclusively by their instincts. But sometimes, one gets the feeling that our animal brothers aren't in any way inferior to people. Sometimes, they can even seem to be more human, fair, and kinder than us. Horses are beautiful, majestic, noble, and freedom-loving creatures. Most people fall in love with them once and for all. But unfortunately, there are also those who feel different about them. In some countries, such as Romania, the phenomenon of trapping wild horses is rather common. Hunters do it by setting up special wire traps. And then, they usually tie the animal's front or hind legs with chains to prevent it from escaping. Unfortunately, this often results in trauma or even leads to irreversible damage to the animal's ability to move. However, this story is about a kind stranger who accidentally met a chained young wild horse and saved its life. The stranger was a local veterinarian, so he immediately realized that the animal had to be urgently released or the damage done to it would be irreversible. The chains were twisted so tightly around the horse's ankles that they had already began to cut through the skin. A little more time and the blood circulation would be cut off, which would cause the animal to lose its ability to walk. Carefully, so as not to frighten the horse, the man approached it. He took out the wire cutters and set to work with the chains, carefully inserting the wire cutters and cutting the links. The animal was breathing heavily, which was a bad sign. It meant that the horse was in pain. The stranger continued to work, and he soon managed to cut all the chains on the horse's forelegs. And then he saw something else that caused the animal incredible pain. Although the chains were painful, what was hidden under them turned out to be truly terrible. Under the chains, a ball of sharp metal wires was stuck at its hoof. Judging by how deep it was, it must have been there for quite some time already. Putting on his gloves, the veterinarian began to remove the fragments of the sharp wire. It was an unpleasant procedure for the horse, so it even made some kind of an incomprehensible sound several times. But soon it froze and continued to lie down quietly because the vet had managed to completely eliminate the acute pain in its hoof. The other forefoot had the same problem, so the vet carefully removed the broken wire from it as well. The horse seemed calmer. It seemed that it already knew what to expect from the man and what he was trying to do. And so, the man removed all the wire fragments and completely freed the animal. All that remained was to cut off a few more chain links. It was done. The veterinarian removed all the chains and wires from the horse's legs and helped it get back up. Seeing this beautiful wild animal get on its feet and be free again was quite enough for the stranger. But what happened next surprised the man and impressed him deeply. He clearly wasn't ready for this kind of gratitude from the horse. It bent down and playfully gave the man a quick kiss on the face. That's how the man and the wild animal became true friends. And then the horse galloped away, while the man looked at it go, happy to know that he'd done all that he could to help the animal. The way the horse thanked the man is certainly impressive. Hopefully, it'll get to live the rest of its life without any more pain and grief inflicted by the hunters and their cruel traps. The hero of our next heartwarming story could be any person with a heart. College student Kayla Fillon came into an animal shelter a few weeks ago looking to adopt a dog. Young pit bull Russ was calm and sweet, allowing the young girl to get to know him. Contrary to popular belief, fighting breeds aren't natural killer dogs. It's all about the way the owners train them. Despite the fact that Russ got thrown out on the street, he didn't end up hating people. Kayla came to the shelter a few times to work on her relationship with Russ, and then she took him home. And that's when it all started. "Do you really love me? Am I really yours? Can I never leave your side and hug you all the time?" The dog can't speak, but his behavior speaks louder than any words could. The pit bull never parts with his new owner and shows her his gratitude and tenderness in every possible way. The first time he hugged me, I burst into tears, admits Kayla. It hasn't even been 2 weeks since I took him in, but it feels like we've lived together all our lives. I had no idea how grateful a dog could be. We want to believe that most people are kind, but unfortunately, they can be very cruel. One woman shared a video on YouTube where she spoke about how ruthless people can be. I've been seeing abandoned dogs for several days, left without food or water. They were shackled with short chains and couldn't move, the woman wrote. She couldn't sleep well knowing that the abandoned dogs were dying in the sun. So she decided to save them. The kind woman freed all the dogs and put them in her car. A few minutes later, the emaciated and frightened dog, which was sitting in the front seat, began to reach for its rescuer. The animal pressed its head and paw against the woman's hand. This moved the woman so much that she couldn't hold back her tears. "It's all good. It's all good," she kept repeating. The woman was shocked that the animals were so kind and loving. Despite being left for dead by their former owners, they didn't seem to be angry at other people. And the star of our next video is a cat. Meet Perry. He's not just your regular cat, but also an irreplaceable human assistant. It was with his invaluable help that Susie, his master, coped with her loss. And now he's helping her raise kittens. Susie found the cat near her father's house. Perry was very thin and, as it turned out later, infected with fleas, ear mites, worms, and he also had a cold. No wonder, he did live on the street after all. In addition to that, Perry had a broken tooth, but none of the above prevented him from coming to people in search of love and attention. Susie's parents took the cat in and took him to the vet. After getting treated, Perry became even more beautiful and obedient, and he got along great with his new housemates, the domestic cat Tiger and the kitten Jax. They also used to be homeless once, until the family took them in. Sometime later, Susie's father died of cancer. Perry stayed by his side during the entire time he was sick, supporting his owner and trying to spend the last days, hours, minutes with him. Susie was devastated, but the cat was there for her too. She refused to leave the young woman, calming her down with his purring and love. Now Perry is already 6 years old, but he's still very cheerful and playful. The kind cat takes care of all the kittens that Susie brings home. He warms them up and comforts them if they are afraid. The young woman is grateful to fate for bringing Perry to their house that day. And that's all for today, friends. Write your thoughts on today's episode in the comments. Hit the like button. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.